Today, we're here with singer, songwriter, and actress Emily Kinney. She just released her second EP, Expired Love, on October 22nd, where she explores themes of love and relationships through mellow rhythms and relatable lyrics.
How are you doing today, Emily?
I'm doing really good.
Yeah, how long have you been singing and performing?
I've been singing since I was really little. I mean, basically since, I was in preschool, since I could talk, I was always singing. So, but I think the first time I sang for an audience, I did like a little talent show when I was 7. So that was kind of the first time for an audience, or like in church, I think around age 7. But, yeah, so it's been a part of my life forever, pretty much.
And did you win that talent show?
You know what? Actually, I didn't win. I got second place.
Oh.
I was so excited. That second place still got a trophy. So I remember I was just like, oh, man, I'm coming here,
Yeah. Hey, that's still awesome.
Here, I actually won.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. How influential was moving from Nebraska to New York in your music career?
The actual move, as far as, I guess, New York City, just there's so many more opportunities. When I moved to New York, I actually was pursuing more heavily acting, even though I was still singing, and I was maybe pursuing, more like theater, musical theater, TV. But one way that I met a lot of my first friends was I went to music clubs, like Rockwood. There's this place, Pete's Candy Store in Brooklyn, Bar 4, that I would go and check out really, Brooklyn bands. And that's kind of how I met my first friends. I even sang backup for this guy, Dave Beck. And I feel like watching them perform and write their own music, that really inspired me. So I would say, moving to New York City was really key into, the kind of music that I make, and also in terms of inspiration, a lot of my songs are stories from living in New York City, so.
That's awesome. Yeah. Actually, Our next question was piggybacking on what you just said. Because we listened to the lyrics of your songs and got really in-depth into them. And so, in your song Blue Toothbrush, you mention Harlem sidewalks and New York morning winds. Is the scenery in New York a huge part of your songwriting process, or it just kind of happens?
It just sort of happens. I mean, I think I can't help but sort of, for some reason, telling the story is important to me, and there's certain things that sometimes stick out to me, and something about the sidewalks in Harlem, and they're a little bit bigger than some of the sidewalks in other neighborhoods in New York. For some reason, there's little certain things that stick out to you, and that was just one thing that for some reason ended up a part of that particular poem or song when I was kind of describing my feeling. Somehow the sidewalks became a part of describing that feeling of being with that person, being in that environment. It's funny how certain things, a certain smell or a certain blanket at someone's house, or a small object or something, that it can really bring back a lot of memories. So for some reason, Harlem sidewalks bring back this whole, that one thing kind of, for me, even if other people don't necessarily catch all of it, was able to describe a whole feeling, or a whole time in my life.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's you're using your surroundings as kind of a metaphor.
Your senses.
Yes. And that's not a lot of people can do that, so kudos to you.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. It seems like the subject matter of love is constantly present in your EPs. However, your outlook has seemed to change. What was the transition like from Blue Toothbrush to Expired Love?
I think that trying to fit, love or study, like, trying to find, like, that partner or something like that, is kind of something I write about a lot, because I think maybe it's because of, I think it's hard for a lot of people, different reasons. For me, I'm always performing and traveling around a lot. I think in Blue Toothbrush, I talk about, like, being gone for a year. Like, I'll be back in May. And then there's a moment where I'm like, I'll take and over anticipate. I talk about, like, Sunday night, like, I take a bus to go and see you. And so I think it's a difficult subject for me just because of my lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And so trying to figure out how that's going to fit in my life comes up for me a lot. I feel like Expired Lover, I'm taking a little more control of like, how I'm feeling and analyzing it in a different way. I don't know. I mean, they're definitely, like, different stories. There's different Blue Toothbrush, it was like, are different stories than the stories that happened later, and that's, they kind of find their way into the songs on Expired Love. So I would say, if anything, it's like, the difference is it's just different people and how I reacted to love or losing love differently, Blue Toothbrush as compared to Expired Love. They're both dealing with that subject matter, but just, maybe my viewpoint was a little different depending on the song, I guess.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. You have, your albums are kind of chronicles, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think that sometimes the lyrics, if you just put them by themselves, might seem a little sad or something. But, like, but they sound pretty happy, maybe, or, like, there's funny lines and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I feel like I'm pretty lucky. I have so many great friends. I've had a lot of really awesome boyfriends, so it's not like maybe if they seem funny, I think that's good, because I think that, life is really fun. Even the sad parts, you have to figure out a way to sort of indulge and enjoy, because, like, it's all we have. So, I think I try to fight for a more positive outlook, and if taking something painful and I make it sort of funny, is the way to do it, then that's what I do, I guess.
It shows. Like, it shows. And I think that's good, because some people need that. They need something positive out of a negative, and you totally do that.
So we are right now in the Atlanta area. So I guess our question is, do you have any upcoming shows maybe in the area soon?
Yes, I do. Well, you guys know I performed at, like, Walker Soccer Con and all that, but next time I'm doing a show, a little bit smaller show, as far as, like, the venue size and stuff, at Eddie's Attic.
Oh, I love Eddie's Attic.
Yes, wow. It's Monday, November 25th at 7 o'clock. So, it's a school night, but it's a little earlier in the evening, so I'm sure it's going to be super fun, and, it's such a great space. It's very, like, intimate, and I've seen shows there. I've never played there, so I'm really excited. But if you want to go, you have to get your tickets fast, because it's such a small room.
Yes. Everyone go get your tickets.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But it'll be fun, and I'll stay after and, like, hang and, say hi and stuff. So
awesome.
That's
cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Are you planning on maybe going on tour soon?
I'd love to. I'm just sort of, I'm still finishing up, we're still finishing up season 4 for Walking Dead. So,
right.
I think once I'm back in New York, I'll probably start planning, exactly what that tour is going to look like, or if it'll be more like, one-offs in different cities and stuff. But I would love to just go on tour for, a month or two or whatever with my band and hit everywhere. So that's definitely in my plan. I'm just not sure exactly when it's going to happen, between, with everything. So, but there'll be more shows. I'm always doing shows. I'll put them on my website as soon as I have them and tweet about them and everything.
Yeah, I think your fans would really enjoy that.
They would. I mean,
I really want to go on tour, so I would and play at your college if you have any influence.
Oh, I will try to get that happen.
That is our next project we will take on.
Hey, Challenge accepted.
Bring Emily Kinney to your school for, party night or whatever you guys have.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. All right, well, expect Kennesaw State University to get to you sometime.
Awesome.
So we were both at Walker SoccerCon, and we wanted to know, what was it like performing in front of hundreds of Walking Dead fans at the con last weekend?
It was cool, I think those events there's so many people in one place, and I kind of got the sense that, like, at the end of the day, like, my music is a little maybe more chill. It's not, it's very different from, like, watching a show like Walking Dead with, like, a lot of violence and, zombies and running and screaming, So I think in some ways, at first I was like, I wonder if people will be into this, but I got a lot of these comments that were sort of like, oh, this was so nice, like, after a long day of walking around and standing in line, even though it's super fun to go to these conventions. I think most people would agree, by the end you're a little sleepy and ready to relax. And so I think in some ways the concert actually served this purpose of, like, relaxation, which was, like, so awesome. I mean, everybody was so attentive. And it was really special when so many people came by afterwards to say hi. Like, I feel like almost everybody in the room came by and at least, like, said hello or had me sign something. And that's really satisfying because it felt like, oh, everyone was really listening. They'd say a line they liked or a song they liked. So I had a great time performing there. I really, really did.
That's awesome.
Yes, it was amazing, amazing convention. So thank you for attending. That was awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's fun.
In season 3 of The Walking Dead, you got to actually sing on the show. So was that always the plan since you were casted?
Yeah, it wasn't the plan in season 2. When I was first cast, it wasn't, like, necessarily a part of that, but it was kind of an idea that Glenn Mazzara, the showrunner at the time, he had that idea when he was planning season 3. He knew that I sang with my band in New York and different things, and so I think he knew that I had the ability if they wanted to put it in the script. And then I think he was like, oh, we need times when we can, like, kind of chill for a minute. Like, if you remember in season 3, that first episode, there's, like, so much fighting and running, and it was like, oh, this is a really good way to sort of, like, have a relief for everyone, is us singing around the campfire. So that's kind of how it got started, and I think it just really became a part of Beth's character, and now, you see it more and more in the scripts, and it's great for me because I love singing, and I think it's a good way for people to get to know Beth when sometimes she doesn't have, like, a ton of scenes. It's like, you can really feel like you get close to someone or know someone by listening to knowing what kind of music they listen to. It's a way to, like, open up someone, I think, a lot. So.
And it just shows you're very versatile.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love both so much, actually. So.
I mean, it brings some light to something that's not very happy.
Yeah, music kind of does that, so it's nice.
Yes. All right. This question, I don't know if you're ready, but
Okay.
Do you concur when people, including showrunner Scott Gimple, compare you to Taylor Swift?
Well, I mean, in some ways, right, we both like to sing and write songs. She's a wildly successful songwriter.
Right.
So I would only hope, that someday some of my songs could have even a percentage of the impact that she's able to have on the music industry. So it's a compliment for sure. But I guess in some ways we're similar. I mean, in some ways we're different. Our songs sound different, but we both like to write about relationships, which is a similarity. I don't know. Yeah, in some ways I agree, and in some ways I'm like, oh, one thing that's cool about working in music or acting or any kind of art is that, you can compare, but really everybody kind of does their own thing, you know? There's no, like, right way. There's no, like, winner, clear cut, anything, you know? So, I try to, everyone kind of does their own thing. So, like, there's definitely similarities, and there's so much I can learn from someone who's had so much success in the music industry. But then, it's the same way, you know, we're so different, too. We've had such different life experiences, and so that will come out, you know, in our music and in the work that we do. So, in some ways, yes, and then some ways we're very different people, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you have to fight off zombies. I don't think she has to do that.
That's true, yeah.
Just fight off boys.
Like, acting and theater is such a huge part of my life, so that affects, you know, the music I make.
Exactly.
Or, that kind of thing, too, so. Yeah. But it's an exciting comparison. That's very sweet.
Yeah, no,
it's definitely a compliment.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Kind of going off that question, if you could sing a duet with any musician, who would you choose?
Oh my gosh, that is so hard. Because there's so many, I'm a fan of like so many duets.
We have to put you on the spot now.
Sorry.
I know. Okay, well, you know one that I think, instead of doing one of like my dream duet, well, actually, not that I'm saying this isn't it, but I actually worked on this song. Do you guys know the band The Wigs? They're like this really cool band from Athens.
I think I've heard of them.
I've heard of them.
We worked on a song together, and like I'm hoping that we'll get to like record it together or something like that.
Oh,
so
nice.
that would be awesome. And they're like a very different kind of sound than me, so I think it'll be like a cool mashup. You know?
Yeah.
We'll have to look for that.
So that's an actual like possibility.
That works.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're
totally.
like, yeah, awesome. It worked.
Yeah, I feel like I'm putting it out, and yeah, that'll happen then.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for college students that are looking to pursue a career in the entertainment industry?
It's a tough business, like any business, but I think if you want to do it, you'll do it regardless of, you know, if it's tough or not. And, man, I don't know, I guess always take in as much as you can, learn everything you can. You want to give yourself the best chance, so whatever that means. If that means you need to move to New York City instead of staying in your town, or maybe it means you do need to stay in your city and like work on your craft before you move to New York City or Los Angeles or a bigger market. It's hard because everybody's so different, so I can't, it's hard for me to like pick one piece of advice, you know? But I would say that, yeah, you have to kind of go with your gut, and you only live once, and I don't know. If you want to do it, do it.
Awesome, yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Because I think there's a lot of it that's just about sticking with it. You know, it's not the kind of job where, like, you know, a lot of people, they interview for a job after college, and you get the job or you don't. You know, you go on a few interviews. Acting and singing, it's like kind of a constant interview. You know, it's like a constant,
right.
You're always auditioning. Like, even though now I have a somewhat steady gig, I'm still auditioning. I'm auditioning for this job, movies, that. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a constant being rejected or accepted, or, you know. So you have to somehow gain kind of like this resilience, and so I guess being prepared for that is important.
It is. That's awesome. And our last question: where can people go to listen and purchase your album?
Oh, yes, of course. You can go to iTunes and get it there, or Amazon, or you can go to my website, emilykinneymusic.com, and you can get hard copies, because some people like to have, you know, the actual CD for their car or whatever. So, yeah, you can get it pretty much anywhere if, you know, iTunes is good, if you have that. Check it out, Expired Love.
Yes. Everyone go purchase it right away.
Right now. Go purchase it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And come to Eddie's Attic.
Yes.
Right, yes. November what? 25th?
5th?
25th. It's a Monday, and if you go to my website too, you can purchase tickets.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're very grateful for you doing this interview. We really appreciate it. Us,
Yes.
along with
Of course.
KSU Owl Radio and
Yes.
even the whole university.
Yes. KSU Owl Radio was like freaking out when they found out we got an interview with you. They were all excited. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yes, literally like everyone loves you at the station.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And we will blast your music every day.
Yes, every day, all day.
Yes.
So
Oh, great.
Yes, but thank
well,
you.
hopefully I'll see you guys at the show. and
yes,
stuff.
we're gonna try to make it. Yes.
And we will definitely try and speak to you. We want to meet you.
Yes, I mean you've technically.
Yeah, of course. Come up and say hello.
Yeah,
I'll talk to my manager, like put you on the guest list or something.
That would be awesome because we
Yeah.
we love your music and you're really cool. So that would be great.
You're kind of cool.
You're just kind of.
We're fangirling.
We are fangirling a little bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's very nice talking to you.
Yes.
So take care.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, have a good night.
You
You
too.
too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.